I'm back.
Every time I walk out that door, every time I interact with anybody new, my purpose is to help change.
It's time to celebrate life. If you know that you're in charge of your life, it's time to stand up. If you know you want better for your life, it's time to stand up. If you know that you have what it takes to be in charge of your life, it's time to stand up. If you know that you are not just trying to be good for you, but for those around you, it's time to stand up. As a matter of fact, look to the person to your left and tell them you are enough.
I want to help you change, and just like you change, every time I interact with somebody, they help me change. It's no different than if I met an individual and they had 4 quarters and they needed change, or if I had $1 and they had 4 quarters, I need to change. We can swap the money. The value is still the same. They still got $1, I still got $1, but we both exchanged something, and it was a change for both of us. So every time I walk out that door, I inspire to help change lives just as much as lives have changed me.
Y'all been listening to the wrong people, watching the wrong things all your life, and it's time to put to rest all those negative thoughts, because you are enough. It's time to put to rest that self-doubt, because you are enough. It is time to get rid of that negative energy, because you are enough. It is time to stop listening to people that don't have the best interests of you in your life, because you are enough. So let's have a moment of silence. I want everybody to understand that you are the person that's in charge of your life. Everything that you have inside of you to be who you're supposed to be in life. You have a destiny, and that destiny can only be accomplished through you, by you, and only you, with the help of God. When you realize that you are the person you are, because you're not a carbon copy, there's only one you. They try to put you in a box. Society tries to put you in a box, but you can't be in a box. How can you be in a box when there's only one you? But then they tell you, think outside the box. What I'm trying to get you to understand is there is no box.
I want to pass on the things that I have to the generations behind me. By the time it's time for me to get called home and go to the grave, I want to be empty. I believe in bankrupting the cemetery, so I can't take this knowledge with me, because the cemetery is already full of brilliant ideas and unwritten books and innovative ideas. I can't take this with me, so I'm trying to leave it all here as Billy Graham Jr. to the next generation so somebody else can carry it on. And we are back. Man. I have missed y'all. I'm so glad and thankful for everybody being able to tune in, because I must tell you, I got a treat for you tonight. And I don't just mean the treat in the literal sense. I mean, the young lady that I'm bringing on, she is actually a treat, and she provides the treats. And when I say treats, I mean the things that'll feed your soul, nourishment for your body. She does a little bit of everything, but I would be a little bit of a disservice if I tried to explain everything that she does, because some of the things that she does, the things that I've seen and witnessed, it still amazes me. I don't even know how she does it herself, but I'm not going to hold you up. I'm going to introduce her, and I'm going to let you hear from her mouth herself how she makes these things happen. So I want to introduce to you the one, the only, the amazing, not just by mind, but the things that she does with her hands, Miss Loren Montgomery.
Hello. How you doing?
Hey, Auntie. I'm sorry, everybody. I got to tell everybody that. So we call her Auntie because if you go to like her TikTok and all that, she goes by Auntie Loren, and I'm talking about the things that I've seen her do. You got to go to her TikTok page yourself and see it. Auntie Loren. Got to go see it yourself. But before we get diving in, can you tell everybody who is Auntie? Tell us who is Loren Montgomery.
Well, I'm Auntie Loren. I am a content. I started out as a content creator. I do a whole bunch of cooking videos on TikTok and Instagram. And then me and my husband, we also run a it's like a growing type. We have Wing Waffle Factory. It's a restaurant, but it's like it's not a sit down eat in restaurant. It's more of a we do a whole lot of events and we travel all over and cook at events and stuff. And we hoping to go into a restaurant soon, but right now we just using what we got to get to that level.
I like how you said using what you got, because it
Yeah.
made me think of something. Because somebody out there, because you said content creator to now using what you got, get out there. I gotta ask this question because somebody is at home and they probably already checked it, if not looked at your TikTok, and they hear what you're saying about your Instagram and content creation. Let's rewind back.
Mhm.
How did we get to where you said I'm gonna do content creation? Or what were you doing beforehand that led up to you saying, I want to do content creation, I want to get my
I
own
love
shop?
telling this part. I love telling this story because I feel like now it's like inspiration. Well, I started out after I left high school some many few years ago. After I left high school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was like, what am I going to do? So I was like just dibbling, dabbling, not doing the right thing. And at the time, my grandmother was still living, and I was living with her. You know what I'm saying? She's like, you got to figure something out, Lauren. So I was like, okay, well, I went on to college, and college at the time wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be real. College at that time, I was not focused on college. I wanted to I graduated high school. I wanted to, so I didn't last that long in college. Got out of college, went back to live with my grandma back at home in my hometown of Valdosta, Georgia. I joined the military. After I realized that the stuff that I was doing wasn't for me, you know what I'm saying? I joined the military. So I was in the military for a while. I was a cook in the military. So everybody say, well, is that where you learned to cook? And I'm like, kind of, sort of, but I really didn't know how to cook when I was in the military either. So it was like cooking became a self-taught thing, but that was because, after I left the military, I had like all these jobs. I just kept getting job after job after job. And I just felt like these jobs not for me. You know what I'm saying? And at the time I had been diagnosed with having PTSD from the military. So I was like, well, maybe this is why I'm not connecting with these jobs. Maybe I don't feel like people understand me. Like, I don't feel like, I'm a veteran trying to work with all these people who never been to the military. They don't understand my one day I might come in here and want to talk to everybody in here. The next day I might come here, I don't want to talk to nobody. Like, don't talk to me. Like, you get what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, well, I got to figure out something that's going to make me happy because, you know what I'm saying? I have to figure out something that's going to make me happy. So after I spent my years of going from job to job to job after my last job, which happened to be Xfinity back in like 2019, after I left there, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to work for nobody else. I'm going to work for me. You get what I'm saying? Because this is not working. I got kids, and to go rewind a little bit, I was bouncing back and forth from Atlanta, where I live now, to my hometown because I can always go back to my grandma. You get what I'm saying? Like, I know my grandma gonna always open up this door for me. But when before she passed away, she was like, Lauren, you better get yourself together and stop running up and down this highway. So I knew I had to get it together, especially after she passed. I didn't have anybody. I had my granddaddy to run back home too, but I I had to do something for myself and for my kids. You get what I'm saying?
Yep,
So
yep.
I started making videos. One day I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I'm gonna record myself making videos. I started making videos. Before I know it, I'm just making these videos. And I was like, at first, my name was like this broke girl cooks or something like that. And I was like, if you calling yourself broke, you speaking that into existence. So I don't want
Yeah.
to be called that no more. So that's when Auntie Loren came along. And I just kept making all these videos. And I feel like that's the best thing I could have did was pull out my camera and start recording me making videos. You know what I'm saying? Because it was therapeutic. I didn't have a job to report to. I'm getting all this, people knowing my platforms are getting bigger and bigger just from me recording these videos. So after a while, me and my husband, we started Wing and Waffle Factory, and it kind of just go hand in hand. It's all food is therapeutic to me. Everybody likes food, and it's therapeutic. And doing my videos is therapeutic, and watching my business grow is therapeutic. So that's where we are.
Now, you packed a whole lot of information in that, and I would be remiss if we passed by some of this because
I
I
know. I was like, dang. I was like, I wish I could. I wish I could slow down, but once I get to talking,
no,
sometimes,
no, no, we need no, because if you slow down, then you're not being who you are. And
right.
I want you to be who you are because that's what you're actually saying and going through. That's what people actually go through and deal with on a daily basis. Because I'm quick, for example. I'm quick to tell people when I'm talking to them, like, you see so many people out there, quit your 9 to 5, go be an entrepreneur. And I try to tell people, like, in order to know your purpose in life, everybody's not an entrepreneur. Everybody's not a 9 to 5. Like, everything suits somebody else different. So when you're talking to somebody, because I know some people that in that 9 to 5 system, they're great. It's their purpose. They're not just helping and serving people through that company. They're also using their gifts and their talents. Because like you said, you like to cook. There are chefs in restaurants, and that's where they want to be. That's where they're the happiest. Like, and I understand you with that PTSD, because hey, I got it myself. Like, people don't understand. And when I say this, I don't want to mean like just only the military has PTSD, because there's so many people out there that have PTSD undiagnosed that don't know they have it. Like you just said, like, some days I'm like this, some days like this. Like, every day is different, and you're dealing with something that the people you're in front of you have no idea what you're talking about. So I love that. But I want to go back to something. Let's break it down first. Let's go back to grandma, because rest her soul. I can hear it in your voice, just like everybody else did. We all get that one figure in our life that does things, says things, and it resonates different than everybody else. They're the person that can talk to you differently, no matter the tone in their voice. What they say hits you differently than if somebody else said it. So let's go back to grandma. What was that impact? Because I'm asking this because support system, people need support system. Tell us about that impact that she really had on your life. Like, what was life with growing up that you knew she was your support, your backing? What was that impact like, so people can understand?
Well, to keep it 100 with you, because, this is my story. And like you said, I might be, encouraging somebody else. I didn't grow up in a house with my mother and my father. I didn't grow up with them. I grew up with my father's mother, which is my grandmother that I'm speaking on. You get what I'm saying? So, she raised me basically. And it was times in my life where she wasn't there for me because she had her own stuff going on. But for the most part, I will say she was there for me. You know what I'm saying? When I felt like nobody else really had my back, my grandma had my back. You know what I'm saying? And it was times in our lives where we had situations where when I left college and I knew that I knew I really didn't have nothing going on because I left college. So I was sleeping on somebody's floor because I didn't have nowhere else to go. And I hadn't talked to my grandmother in a couple of years. When I finally got in contact with her, she said, "Come home." You get what I'm saying? And I was, at that time, I was like 19, 20 years old. So my grandmother was like, "Come home." And ever since then, me and her were like this. You know what I'm saying? Every time I was pregnant, she was there for me. Her and her husband, they were there for me. And whenever I had something going on, they were there for me. When I was working and I needed somebody to watch my kids, they were there for me. I say they because it was her and him. But for the most part, my grandmother raised me, but I didn't really have a concrete relationship with her until after I dropped out of college and after I, needed somewhere to go. She did what she was supposed to do, which like grandma was like, "Come home," and I came home. So if it wasn't for her, a lot of the stuff that I have right now, I don't feel like I would have. Where I'm at right now, I don't feel like I would be, because after my grandmother passed away, it was like I was really depressed. That was my first time ever. My grandmother just passed away in 2017. I was really depressed. I was working. I had a good job. I didn't go back to work for like 3 months. I was like, I can't do it. But at the end of the day, I know she's proud of me. You get what I'm saying? Like, I know she's proud of me, and I appreciate her for everything she did before she left this planet.
Now, I gotta ask. Because I'm asking this question because obviously we know the different, like, hindsight, because now we can see back and see that influence and that person there versus when we have that foresight. Like, I say that because people are in our ear that really care about us growing up and saying, need to do something. And they're kind of helping you guide that path. But looking back, hindsight, that's why it's 2020. Like, you're not really picking up on it. When you say you were in the military and you didn't really know how to cooking, how much of what you're doing now, the stuff you picked up in the military, how much of that cooking came from grandma?
Okay. So I didn't. How much of it came? My life is complicated. Let me just say this. So my last year of high school, I didn't live with my grandmother, nor did I live with anybody in my family. I was living with somebody else. Not anything of my doing. It was just something very very personal went on in my life, and I had to, leave that household that I was in and move to another household. And the lady, Nana, I call her Nana. Her name is Ethel, but I call her Nana. She cooked, but I don't think they really trusted me cooking because I baked the cake. Listen, the first time I tried to bake a cake for my godfather, I baked a spoon in the cake. So after that, she was like, you know what? I'm gonna do all the
Oh,
cooking.
hold
So,
on. You baked a spoon in the cake?
yes, I baked him a cake and it was a spoon in the cake. And that was my first time baking. Like,
I'm pretty sure that wasn't an ingredient.
no, it wasn't. And he's like, Lauren, it's a spoon in the cake. I was like, oh, that's where that spoon went. I was wondering.
How do you lose the spoon in the cake?
It was like, well, one of those little, like a regular like eating cereal spoon. It was one
Yeah.
of those. I don't know. I think I probably was stirring and it probably like slid down in the. I don't know. And then I don't know. That's crazy. Like, how did I? Now I realized it was. Listen, that was a long time ago. Okay, I've changed a lot. Okay.
It's funny you say this because I tell people all the time, your failures are the lessons that lead to your success. Because people
Right.
think that when they just hear only the success of people, that's how they get in their lesson. And I'm like, no, those people are successful because they learn through their failures. Like you got one thing to do. You can fail and quit, or you
Right.
can learn your lesson. And as you continue to learn that lesson, you gain success. So
Well,
I'm assuming
after I
that
went
when
to
you
the
drop that
military,
spoon, you learned the lesson.
after I went to the military, when I went in there as a cook, they was like, "Do you know how to cook?" I was like, "No." So I would watch them, because in the military they got like the main line,
Yeah.
then they got salad prep. And since I told them I didn't know how to cook, they was like, "Put her over there on salad prep. You can't burn the salad." You know what I'm saying? It's like a whole bunch of chopping up fruits and vegetables, and you know what I'm saying, putting out the desserts and stuff. But then when I went to Afghanistan, it was like I started to move around more in the kitchen. You get what I'm saying? Because we still had salad prep and stuff like that, but it was more like you cooking for a lot of people. You can't just stay in one spot. You got to move around. So when we came back from Afghanistan, I was like, oh, she do know how to cook. Put her somewhere else other than the salad bar. And so after that, I started, because before then, I only had one kid at the time. All me and him was eating was chicken Alfredo, because that's all you got to do is pop the jar open and boil the noodles and get some pre-cooked chicken from the store, and we all right. So me and my son, we ate a whole lot of chicken Alfredo for a while, but over years, after I got in the military, I started learning more and more how to cook, calling my grandma, you know what I'm saying? Because by then, I'm at home more. I got my kids growing, asking her more questions, just watching. By then, YouTube was a thing, you know what I'm saying? So watching more YouTube videos. So after a while, I was like, Lauren, you know how to cook. Stop playing like you don't know how to cook. So now your girl be cooking.
Man, I wish I was on that chicken Alfredo like that. I know me and my wife got married, like we was really big on some hamburger helper.
Hamburger helper was a good. We made hamburger helper last week because I was like, you know what? I used to eat hamburger helper as a kid, and I don't know if it was when I was a kid. We ate a lot of stuff, but now that's some of that stuff I don't want. Like I be like, yeah, I don't want no I don't want no black eyed peas. Look tonight we gonna eat something different. I don't get me wrong. I grew up on certain stuff, but when we was kids, our family like fed us some of the same stuff over and over again. Now that I got my own money, I don't want that. I want something else, please.
So I was blessed. My mama, she can make some things happen. My daddy made some things happen. I don't know how they did it. And then I talked to my wife. It was funny you talking about this because we just had this conversation about like what we ate growing up. And like obviously there was no social media, so you ate like the same structure of food. The
Right.
chickens, the spaghettis, you know what I'm saying? Like the barbecue, like it was the same structure. And then as military helped us a lot because as we travel around learning from other people and they bring in dishes when we having group parties with our friends and stuff like that and cookouts and like, what is that? How you make that? And then different countries and picking up different stuff. Or we were stationed somewhere and it's like, you know what? I sure want to eat this. And this is before we got to the YouTube. It was like, go to Pinterest and Google and look up the recipe and getting Pinterest recipes. Like, I know where you're going with that. And it's like, it's funny you say that because now I call it YouTube University. You went to college and it wasn't resonating. And I tell people all the time because college isn't for everybody, but there's other ways you can learn and hone in on your craft.
Right.
And you just stated yours is YouTube.
Right.
Can you tell us some of those go-to recipes that you were looking at and you found on YouTube that was like, this is what we're eating tonight?
Well, everybody got a different way how to make fried chicken. So fried chicken was one. You know what I'm saying? Because when I used to make fried chicken, like it just seemed like the breading wasn't coming out right. You know what I'm saying? But everybody on YouTube got a different way to do things. So fried chicken, different ways to cook spaghetti. Because let me tell you, we eat spaghetti once a week around here. So, uh, I'm 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 still I'm kind of skeptical on the bacon because every time I think about bacon, I think about the spoon and the cake. So if you got something that's like easy to bake, I kind of like steer away from it. But I'm getting into the bacon, but I still watch YouTube videos on that. But for the most part, this it's little simple stuff. If it's too hard, I'll be like, get somebody else to do it.
Yours is if it's too hard. Mine is if them ingredients get too much, be like, that's a long list of ingredients. Like
Yes.
some of this stuff, I leave the long ingredients alone.
You can go from one recipe and it have 5 ingredients. Then you go to the next one, it got 10, 20 ingredients. They be like, go get the European butter. I'd be like, great value butter ain't gonna work for this recipe. Like,
this produce is not the same price no more. This grocery bill is going up. No, this great value, everything.
organic stuff be like $5 more expensive than the regular stuff. And then some great value stuff be expensive too. I was like, soon we're gonna be growing our own vegetables.
Man, who you telling? Got to grow my own. So now we transition. We transition from now you leaving the military, and you're like, I'm going to all these different jobs. As you were going back and dealing with these people that said like some days you could, some days you couldn't. What was that thing? Because I know you said content creation, but what was that thing that transformed you from content creation to cooking? This is what people want to see, or this is what they like the most. What did you notice that led you to say I'm doing the cooking as you're doing the content creation?
I left my last job, like I said, which was Xfinity in 2019. Yeah, about 2019, I left. And I was like watching video because this was before reels and all this stuff became a thing. Before COVID hit, like right before COVID hit, I was doing the videos, and not that many people were doing videos and reels. You know what I'm saying? Like it was still a new thing. And I see people doing hair, I see people doing makeup, I see people doing all these things I can't do. So I was like, let me do something that I can do. People gonna always be hungry. People gonna always want to eat. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know that so many people were interested in watching cooking videos. It's just like so many people when I posted, I tell you what happened. I posted a video I took some white bread, I put some cheese on it, and made some garlic bread to go with some spaghetti probably. And that video went viral. And I was like, oh, okay. And after that, that's what motivated me to keep doing the videos. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, oh, okay, people really like this. People really like this. And then I wasn't making like nothing super fancy. I make like regular stuff, honey, because the way my nerves set up, I make regular stuff. So people want to see simple. People want to see simple things. They don't want to see like they don't want it to be, they want to be able to do it themselves. And as long as they can see somebody else doing it and you posting what you're using, they're going to follow you. They're going to like your videos. They're going to share them and stuff like that. So I think when I realized, and then when COVID hit, oh my goodness, when COVID hit and the only thing people had to do was just sit and look at their phones, that's when my views and my plays really went up. But that's also the time where everybody else started getting into, you know what I'm saying, making the videos and you get what I'm saying, making the cooking videos and stuff. So it was like, okay, what do I got to do to set myself apart from the next person? You get what I'm saying? So I think overall, just as long as it's food and as long as I have hands and as long as I can make these videos, I think that's just gonna always get people because they like food. People like food. People gonna always want to eat.
You just said something that I want people to make sure they got. Because you said when you started looking and you seeing the hair videos, the makeup, all this different stuff, and it's like you tapped in like, what do I do? Like, what can I do? Like, so many people out there have these different, I call them gifts, qualities, purpose, however you want to phrase it, that we do on a daily basis that we take for granted that other people don't know how to do.
Mhm.
You just can't assume everybody knows how to do hair. Everybody knows how to do makeup. And in your case, everybody knows how to cook. I'm pretty sure somebody's out there listening. We've been to somebody's house or been to a function somewhere and they ran across some food that is like, who cooked this? Don't cook nothing else. Matter of fact, stay
Please,
away from the stove as much as
please.
Auntie stay
Who
away from
made
that
the
spoon
potato
in the
salad?
makeup. Who made the potato? That's all right. You know that question. We gonna get that. Who made the potato salad? But I'm saying that because somebody's watching right now. They're listening to your life experience. They're listening to the things you've gone through and how you didn't let that stop you because you still reach back to what do I know how to do? And as you said, keep it simple. For some reason, we do it to ourselves. We're our own sabotagers. We sabotage ourselves. We think we have to think so elaborate and somebody else is already doing it. So I gotta go way outside of the spectrum because before you did your cooking, started posting yourself cooking, like you said, it was very simple. People have been posting cooking shows and videos and clips forever, but it's still simple. And as you say, everybody has a different way of doing things. And what your way is that you think is normal to you and your family is not normal to other people. So you have to do that. I'm glad you expressed that part so people can understand that. And the keeping it simple. And then as you're keeping it simple, find your own thing that makes it your niche, which drives me to this. What was it that you said? I'm uploading my clips. What makes me different from everybody else? What was that little thing that you did? Whether it be your name, some type of way you speak or ingredient? What's that one thing that made you a little different than everybody else?
I think when I first started, it was just my hands. I had my tripod. It was just my hands and my music. I love music. Music is my thing. Like music gets me through so much. But it was the certain type of music that I like because I'm not a really big fan of a lot of the stuff that comes. You know what I'm saying on the radio now. I'm an old school Isley
Man,
Brothers,
me.
LTD, Aretha Franklin. I'm that type of person. So me putting that type of music over my videos while cooking, I think that's what set me apart. You get what I'm saying? And then after cause I was, it was just my hands because I was comfortable just using my hands. Nobody ain't got to see my face. Nobody don't have to hear my voice. It's just my hands. And after a while, I had to realize, like, okay, the hands, they've gotten you so far, but now it's time to start showing your face. Now it's time for people to start hearing your voice. And then once I started introducing my face into my videos, it was like, okay. And it took a lot for me to do that because, like I said, I didn't really come from a house where it was like people calling you beautiful every day, letting you know that you're worth every day. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like I had to build that confidence inside of myself. And I feel like I'm still doing it right now. You know what I'm saying? Cause it's days where I'm like, okay, I don't feel like I'm good enough to do this. I don't feel like I'm the best to do this, but I some days I do it anyway. Some days I let my brain just take over. You get what I'm saying? It just
Yep.
and I don't want to be like that, but that's just who I am. You get what I'm saying? And I'm still learning. I'm still trying to figure out different ways. And now when I'm put up I was gonna record in my kitchen, by the way, but children and dogs and lots of noise up there. So I put my in my kitchen. If you go on some of my YouTube, my Instagram videos, you see I got my big LED sign that say Auntie Loren with my TV that got Auntie Loren's kitchen behind it and stuff. So I'm always looking for ways to stand out because I don't really see nobody else with an LED sign with their name behind it. And if they do, they got it from me.
Yep. I'm glad you said that because so we listen to music. I remember for one part of because I'm a music person too, and you hear certain things, certain R&B, certain rappers, artists, all different types of artists. When they say something and it's catchy, we run with it. And I remember at this one phase in life that when they were talking about levels, and somebody said it's levels to this,
Mm,
and I'm glad you said that because you broke down the levels to the people out there watching. Like how I was like, all right, I'm gonna just do something, and it started with the hands. And then it was like, all right, I need to level up.
right.
I'm adding my face. All right, I'm leveling up. Got the signs with the LEDs. Like, I want people to understand that because we like you said, you in your head, and we all do it. That we think we have to have everything set, perfect, done to even get started. And what you're saying is, just get started.
And
And
even even today, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt
no,
you.
you go ahead. Go ahead.
Even today, like I with my other bit, with my wing and waffle factory business, that takes a lot of my time, so I don't get to make videos as much as I did. But if I never started being Auntie Lauren, if I never started making these videos, I wouldn't really have wing and waffle factory. You get what I'm saying? But my work from being Auntie Lauren and doing my videos and my brands and my money I was getting paid for Instagram and TikTok videos, that allows me to put put into my other business. You get what I'm saying? So I always do my videos and my content creation, but now it's like everybody making videos, man. And it's like some days I just be like, I remember I was in. I don't. I can't. I'm not calling. I'm not a gatekeeper. I'm not a gatekeeper. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a gatekeeper. I just, for example, I put a lot of work and time into my videos, and I just seen like maybe a month or two ago, a girl was posting my videos with my voice on it, posting my videos as her own. She's getting paid for them and everything, and that honestly kind of like made me kind of fall out of love with making videos. You get what I'm saying? When you see somebody taking your work and you're not taking my work with just my hands. You're taking my work with my voice on it too. You know what I'm saying? It took a lot for me to start doing these voiceovers on these videos. Like I didn't want to do that because I was like I was just shying away from it. And it took a lot for me to build up that courage within myself to start doing voiceovers and stuff on my videos, and to see somebody take my work, it kind of like made me not want to do videos no more. So I'm at the point now where I'm just starting to build myself back up and start making more videos again. But I'm getting there.
So hold on. So when somebody does that, there's nothing you can say to TikTok or anything. There's nothing you can do about, because they're making money off of you basically. But it'd be different if they took what you did and recreated it in their own house. But they're taking your whole everything, voice, everything. There's nothing that can be said or done to like stop it or block it or however they would like. There's nothing that can be done.
Well, what happened was Auntie Lauren got people that know her. Okay, so I be in Walmart, be like, "You Auntie Lauren?" I be like, "Yeah." So people know who I am. People know my voice. So this one person sent me a link, and they were like, "Is this your video?" But you know how you think that somebody's sending you spam, because that's how they started out in the spam. They be like, is this you with the link?" I'm not clicking that. So after a while, like dozens of people just started sending me this link. And I'm like, this girl, I clicked on it one day. I was like, can't everybody just be sending me the same link for no reason? So I click on it and I'll start looking through her videos. It's like my video with my voice and stuff. So I start looking at the comments. Everybody's like, that's not you. That's Auntie Lauren. You need to take this video down. So people are going to ride for you. And I reported the videos, but Facebook was like, they couldn't really do anything about it or something. I don't know. And I was like, that's crazy, because that's just crazy. Like, just to see your work get taken from you like that. And you can't really, you fighting it and the people are helping you fight it, but it's like the people who's supposed to be over it are not really doing anything about it.
So they're not doing anything about it. And I'm sorry, it doesn't make sense how they say they can't do anything about it, but they're like, we're still gonna give her money for it though. Like, you're just giving away money for somebody that's not, you know what, we're not gonna hop on that, because I'm a firm believer in what's for you is for you, and can't nobody take it away, no matter how they try to steal it, no matter how they try to reduplicate it. Like, they can't make another Auntie Lauren. Like, it just is impossible, no matter how much they try to
got
steal.
the videos, but she ain't Auntie Lauren though.
She ain't Auntie Lauren. Like, what do? You ain't got the sign, and then you don't even let it stop you. You level it up and go to another level. Like, if you want to keep copying, come over here. So as you're doing these videos, what transitions you to that level of like, let's make this bigger than just the kitchen. Let's take this show on the road. How do you transition to, like, because they can't copy that. How do you transition and go that route?
I guess because you can see the potential in making these videos. To some people, it's like, oh, you're just making videos. There's nothing to come from those videos. But when I tell you I've gotten like big brand deals, you get what I'm saying? Like you can take my videos, you can pretend you me, but you're not me who's signing that check though. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're not me who's getting that money deposited in my account, in your account. And it's just like the lifestyle that I could provide for my children based off, just being able to make videos or just being able to run Wing Waffle Factory. Like, that's really, you get what I'm saying? Like, you could take this stuff and pretend that it's you, but you can't take my life and pretend to live it, because it's only one me.
There you go. There you have it. Because You stealing my stuff, but then when they ask you to cook this food and you don't know what
Right.
you're doing.
When everybody asks you in the comments, like, what's the recipe? You can't give people the recipe because you ain't got the recipe. You ain't got the sauce.
Ooh, ain't got the sauce. and so you brought it up, the wing and waffle factory. As you're sitting there and you're like, people are gravitating to these videos. They like the food, and people are coming and want me to cook stuff from them or cook in these events. What transitions you to say I'm a step outside on that faith? I'm gonna take my skills, and people are asking for it. Because obviously, before you even got to Wing and Waffle Factory, it seemed like something had to drive you from behind the camera. So, what were those things that said, "All right, I'll come cook for you," or "Okay, I'll make this dish for you," or "Okay, I'll come to your event"? What were those like to even transition you to say, "I'm gonna develop Wing and Waffle Factory"?
I think it's like after COVID, it was like, okay, the videos are starting to kind of slow down. You get what I'm saying? Like, what else can I do? And me and my husband, we were watching Food Network one day, and we seen these people making these chicken wings and these waffles. I think it was like chicken wings and waffles or something like that. I can't remember what it was. And I was like, I'm gonna make that. And it's just the idea that just came up in our head, and it just exploded. It just, you get what I'm saying? Like, it got
Yeah.
big. Like, we started running this business, this wing and waffle factory business. And before you know, we got all these people like, can you come to this event? Can you come to our event? Can you come to our event? And like, just watching my business grow just from that one small idea, me standing in that kitchen with my tripod and my camera, just to be able to use Auntie Loren to branch off and do Wing and Waffle Factory. I think I don't know if I'm really answering your question right, but
No, you are.
okay. Yeah, I'm just happy that I did. You get what I'm saying? Because now it's like, with the on you see on the news now, they're not gonna pay you no more for your video reels and stuff on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram. And I tell people all the time, I was like, I told people even before they said, I was like, I would never ever use Instagram and Facebook and TikTok as my main source of income, because
No.
that's a lot of people, with all this stuff going on in the world, this company laying off all these people, this company laying off all these people. You can never be you can never depend on something other than your own money. You get what I'm saying? So I can't. Nobody gonna lay me off from wing. Y'all might can't pay me for my videos on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook no more, but y'all can't lay me off from my own business, which is Wing and Waffle Factory. So I think having something to fall back on was the main purpose of us. I can't say me because my husband. I hope you don't hear me. That was our main purpose, having our own money, not having to work for people, not having to depend on people.
Wow. So for one, I'm gonna let you know. I see your secret safe with me. We're not gonna tell your husband. we did a good job. But no. So I'm happy you brought that up, because we see so many. I don't want to just say a certain generation, because it's all of us around the world. Like, so many people that are saying, I want to be content creators. I want to be content creators. In which that time period, and I'm talking about, I used to tell my kids, their friends, my peers, I'm like, hey, like, doing that is great. No problem with it. In some instances, it leads to other successes. But you have to understand, you can't put all of it in all your chips in that one bag, all of it in one. Because you say you don't want to work a 9 to 5, you want to do your own thing. But I tried to help them understand that by relying on content creation, you're kind of similar to the 9 to 5. Because if they ever say we're not going to pay this much, or we're going to change how much you pay, at least with a 9 to 5, you give me a salary or pay me by the hour. That's what it is, and I can move up from there.
Right.
Whereas content creation, I got to make this videos. I got to depend on this many likes. I got to depend on it going viral. Right? But then if they say, you know what, we're not going to change. We're not going to give you $1 no more. We're going to give you 50 cents for this, or 5 cents for this many
They was
views.
never
Like,
giving $1. They was
no, I know they weren't giving $1. Trust me. If that was the case, everybody would be doing it.
You're right.
Everybody would be
I
rich.
was just kidding, because I tell people think you make all this money off of content creating, but when I sit down and I like calculate, me and my husband calculate, I think, to be honest, it's either between 1/3 of a cent or 1/2 of a cent. You're not even really getting a whole cent for these plays.
Wow.
You have to really have like hundreds and thousands. And I have on Instagram right now, I believe I have like 110,000 followers. And it's like, even with that, that's not enough. not enough to, you get what I'm saying? Like, you got people who out here making it, and I'm happy, and I won't hate on them because they out here, they doing it. But you have to really dedicate yourself to sitting in front of a camera all day long and just recording videos. And you can record those videos all day, but if those videos don't go viral based off the followers that you already have, and this is what I explain to people, then you're really spinning your own wheels, because you have to really dedicate yourself to making these videos and making sure you're consistent and making sure you always got one in the chamber. When I say that, that means you always have a video to post all morning, noon, and night. You get what I'm saying? And I just don't have time. You get what I'm saying? I have a whole nother business that's taking off. You get what I'm saying? I will always be Auntie Loren, but at the same time, like, I'm gonna take advantage of the business that's taking off. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's Wing and Waffle Factory right now.
So let's transition in that, because I'm glad you dropped that nugget for the people out there that's thinking I'm just gonna survive off of content creation. Because I'm like you, like, it's not life. Like, it might sound good when you're younger, it might sound good if you don't have nothing at that present moment, but as things change in your life, that's time consuming. And again, I'm not knocking nobody, I'm not telling people not to do it, because there are ways to maneuver around it, from ads to sponsorships. I'm not saying all that. I get it. I just want people to understand there's only so many ads and sponsorships that go out. But
right
now that helped you, because you leveled up again and went into the Wings and Waffle Factory, and you said, this is what we're going to start with this business. Tell us what way worked for you. Like, what did you do to get started with Wing and Waffle Factory? For somebody that's out there trying to say, I want to go out there and start cooking too. Like, how do I do it? Like, what does it look like? Like, we understand making a name in LLC, but that's all we hear when we see people make it LLCs, get business credit, and they stop. And it's like, okay, what does that look like from your end for you and your husband?
This has not been an easy road with Wing and Waffle Factory, because we started this back in our old apartment kitchen. And at the time, we were not staying in a very favorable, part of town. It wasn't nice, but it wasn't very favorable. You know what I'm saying? So we was like, we had people like, hey, we got chicken wings and waffles. You want to come get some? We like, start selling them to the little neighborhood people. You get what I'm saying? And I had done built this following for Auntie Loren. So when I started saying, hey, I got chicken wings and waffles, people were like, oh, Auntie Loren got chicken wings and waffles. You get what I'm saying? So we were doing that, making money off of that, and then we gained so much steam off of that. That's how we started doing like events and show, going to festivals and things like that. So we decided that, during COVID, we decided, we big enough, we're gonna go ahead and go into a kitchen. Sometimes you should probably just keep crawling before you try to jump all the way off the cliff, because we went and rented this thing called a cloud kitchen. A cloud kitchen is like, it's not a full service restaurant. It's like a kitchen, a commercial kitchen. And you move all your equipment in. And we were in this building with like 10, 20 other cloud kitchens, all different restaurants. It's like a suite with different restaurants in it. You get what I'm saying? You're really running off of Uber Eats, and you're really running off of DoorDash, and people actually coming up there placing orders and carrying it out, eating in their car. So we decided we was gonna go do that, instead of getting a food truck, which is what our original plan was, which was to get a food truck. So we go into this kitchen, and I don't even think the ink was dry on the paper before we realized we were in over our heads. Like, we were making the money for it, but all the money was going back into product. All the money is going back into, we weren't seeing the money that we were making. And we were like, okay, we can go ahead and get out from underneath this right now, or we can keep trying to make it work. And we had the popularity to make it work. We had to, but it wasn't our time for us to be inside of that. We should have never made that choice to go in that kitchen so soon. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, sometimes you should just keep crawling before you walk. So we came out and we went back into doing our food vending and our street vending and stuff. And that's what we've been doing ever since. And right now we have a trailer, and we're trying to, like, not trying, we are turning into a food trailer, and hopefully we have that by the end of we will have that. Let me start speaking to Tiz. We will
I was waiting. I was loving it.
We will have that by the end of the summer. So yeah, that's where we at with it right now.
So you just did something, and we hear people talk about it all the time, but you literally just showed people how it works. Because we've talked about it already, like how we are our own worst enemies. We get in our way, like especially in our head. And you literally just showed people step by step in a quick snap of the fingers how fast it is for you to, the words and the way you talk to yourself and talk about things, how it can put up those roadblocks, not just mentally, but physically, and stop you from doing things. And you literally just did it because you have to say it. Like, we're not going to try to do anything. We're going to do it. You're going to do it. You're not going to try or attempt it or we hope it works. It will work, and you're going to do it. And I love how you did that to show people that's how it works, because you hear people all the time, I'm just going to do affirmations. And you got, it's a way to do these things, and you got to have action behind it. And I love how you brought up the point of crawling before you take off, because as you stated, you went through different phases in your life. You broke it all down to us, from showing the hands, doing the military, like going to college, then going show your face on video. Like, you showed the different levels. And sometimes, let's be honest, once again, being our own worst enemy, we jump the gun, we get in front of ourselves, and you let it out. And I want to make sure we cover this, because I'm real big on what's for you is for you, what God has for you is for you. He gave y'all the idea, and y'all went a different direction from that idea, and it still brought you right back to the direction he wanted you to go.
It was like God said, "Hey, I didn't tell you to do that. That's not what I told you to do. What I told you to do was get that food trailer." And when I went into this year, we go into this year talking about the things we're gonna do. So when 2023 came, I was like, I'm gonna get me a food trailer in 2023. And I told you before we got on this video that within the first 2 weeks of 2023, we had this trailer, because that's what God wanted us to do. He did not want us to go get that kitchen. Like, we were driving like 45 minutes. We stayed, you got Atlanta and you got outside of Atlanta. We outside of Atlanta. So we were driving about 45 minutes without traffic. We ain't gonna talk about with traffic to get to this kitchen and run this business every day. And we were like going through personal stuff with our kids and personal stuff. And that kitchen almost really like tore my family apart. You get what I'm saying? And I felt like that was God's way of saying, like, sometimes you just got to be patient and be still and sit still, because that happened like maybe 2 years ago. And here we are like 2 years later, and we doing better than we was when we went, you get what I'm saying, than before, because we went back to what the plan was instead of what we wanted the plan to be. And when we went to what the plan was, we lost a lot of money. I'm just gonna what we wanted the plan to be, we lost a whole lot of money. And then now it's like, now that we're going to what the plan's supposed to be, we making money. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So if you listening to me, please don't rush stuff. Just let it happen. Just let it happen. And it might seem like it's going to take forever for it to happen. Oh my God. It feels like everybody and their mama got a food truck, and everybody and their mama got their restaurant up and running, except for me and my husband. That's what it feels like some days. I'm like, oh my God, you sure you don't want to go take out this $1 million loan to get this food trailer up and running? And I'm like, he like, no. And I'm like, because he the one who he try to, run the course, and then sometimes it's me, and I be ready to jump the gun because I feel like stuff not happening fast enough. But when you want stuff to happen fast, anything you in a rush to get into, you're gonna be rushing to get right back out of. So,
man, we say it so much. Like, we hear people say it all the time. Oh, God may not come when you want him, but he always on time. And I'm sorry, I grew up in the church, so we heard all the sayings, won't he do it? And I be sitting there and I'm like, how can we say that? But then when we get something in our head, we want to run off away from them. But when things get bad, we want to run back to them. And I don't understand that. And I say that for the simple fact of, I'm real big on this one plan. One plan. It's plan A only. It's not a plan. Plan A keeps you moving ahead. Plan B makes you go backwards. Plan C, you setting yourself up for a catastrophe. You never made a coach on a sports team that had multiple playbooks. He got one playbook. She got one playbook. You never saw a builder with come to your house and like say, I got 50 floor plans. No, I got one floor plan for your house that's just for your, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you get one. The teacher has one lesson book. Teacher don't have 15 lesson books. But we get a plan and we try to either speed up the plan or deviate the plan. And let's break it down this year like this way. You can't go to school and say, I'm in kindergarten, but tomorrow I want to be in 12th grade. It's so much you just ain't learned. You got to learn. And that's why I say your failures and the lessons you learn lead to success. Now, when you ran outside that plan, you learned something.
Right.
And it brought you and your husband back. And it made y'all even stronger. So, because people don't get this part of it. Can you give us one or two things that when you tried to run and jump off that cliff and you didn't have the wings to fly, and of course that wasn't part of the plan, Can you tell us something that you learned by moving too fast, going over there when you should have stuck to the plan that is now helping you in the plan that you're in?
I learned, for sure, that money. Once it's gone, it's gone. Ain't no coming back.
You can't get it back. You made somebody else richer.
Seriously, you do, because when you think about it, not to get off what you just, I'm gonna come back to it. You paying $6,000 for this commercial kitchen, and like I said, you got 10 to 20 other commercial kitchens in there, and everybody paying about the same amount. Some people paying a little bit more because their kitchen might be a little bigger, but everybody paying about $6,000-$7 a month, and some people can afford it. But I'm pretty sure we could afford it too if we were properly prepared to go in there. We would have been able to afford it, but it didn't work out like that. I learned that. Repeat the question for me. I want to make sure I answer it right.
What are those things? Because we always move ahead, and we see people when they online or whatever tell us about their successes. What was that lesson or two that you learned by moving and deviating from the plan that you brought back that is now helping you in the current plan that you're on?
I learned to believe in myself more, because if I believed in myself, I would have went a whole different route than going to that kitchen. I learned that to listen to yourself when something is saying not to do something. What is it? Discernment. Yep. I learned you have to have a level of that within yourself, because I had all these signs that was telling me not to do it, and I did it anyway. You get what I'm saying? And I know that was God. He was like, okay, well, you ain't gonna listen. I'm just gonna go ahead and let you do it. So I learned to listen to myself. I learned to be more confident in myself. I learned that stuff not gonna happen when we want it to happen. It's gonna happen when it's supposed to happen. And that was not supposed to happen. And that's why it fell apart so quickly, because it was not supposed to happen. It's everything that's supposed to happen. My story, your story, anybody who's listening to it's already been written already. So there's no need to really try to deviate away from it, because what's already written is gonna happen anyway. I'm trying to be a motivational speaker. You know what I'm saying?
You're not trying. You are being.
I am. I'll be on tour at the end of 2023, y'all.
Hey, be careful what you ask for, because the way you just laid that out, oh man, that sent a little chill up my spine. Because when it's your time, it's your time. But like you said, what's already written, no matter how we try to deviate from it, it's going to happen. And I had to take a look at that myself, and I'm glad you said that. And I hope other people caught it, because what's for you is for you, but it's for you because it's already written. And there's nothing nobody can say, the time, the place, like us sitting right here. This was already written way before we knew it, before it existed. Like, we already had this story written. And I tell people all the time that it's your story. You holding the pen, but it's really you and God. Y'all are holding the pen. Nobody else can write it for you. And I'm glad you put it that way, because you kept bringing it back to believing yourself. Like you started off when you were saying, like when you were left and went to school and that didn't work out, the different jobs, coming back, grandma was telling you, like, you got to do something, but she never really was saying what you had to do. The you got to do something is the emphasis. You believe in yourself. She was leaving that nugget for you the whole time. And it started registering. Remember, hindsight versus foresight. Like, and you keep saying, like, you went and did this. I believed in myself, showed the hands. I had to believe in myself, showed my faith, believe in myself. I got my name on the wall, Auntie Loren. Like, I got my TV, believe in myself. Like, you kept believing in yourself, and it's kept helping you level up and grow more and more and more. Even when people tried to knock you off and take your crown, steal your stuff, you can't take what's mine. And I love that, because you kept saying, believe in yourself. Now, I asked this question to everybody, are similar, but it's a similar question I asked. And you said believe in yourself so much. What is that one thing that you would tell somebody out there that's going through either something similar to you or going through their own journey, dealing with different things? What is that way you would tell them to believe in themselves so that they can continue to level up to success in their life?
Don't listen to the naysayers. Don't listen to people who say you can't do it. Don't even listen to the negative part of yourself that says you can't do it. Anything that's fighting you, just because it's gonna be internal fights that you have to deal with. It's gonna be personal family fights that you have to deal with on this journey. It's gonna be like just different types of fights on every level. It's gonna be a whole nother devil, and whether that devil is just a person, it's gonna you got to fight through it because you know it's been so many times where I wanted to give up and not believe in myself. And even to this day, I still have to tell myself, all right, Lauren, you can do it. Don't tell yourself you can't do it. You can do it. You get what I'm saying? Even when it comes to these videos, I have to tell myself, you can do this. You can do this. You can do this. As long as you got people in your corner who do believe in you, then the negative stuff that you may tell yourself or that people may say about you, that don't matter because what you think of yourself and what the people who believe in you think of you is really what matters. You get what I'm saying? Because there's more people out here who believe in you than people who don't. And usually people who don't believe in you, they just they don't matter. They don't matter. And I guess where I'm at right now, I'm at a place in my life where I'm kind of at peace. And I haven't been at peace, you know what I'm saying? Like when my grandmother passed away, I felt like I wasn't at peace for a long time. You get what I'm saying? Like I felt like I felt like I was who I was before I went to the military when my grandmother passed away. You get what I'm saying? But then I get with my husband and it's like we kind of like, we mesh and I settled we settled down. We got our family and stuff. And life has just been life just been good. You know what I'm saying? As long as you like I said, as long as you got people in your corner who believe in you a little bit more than you believe in yourself. Sometimes we just have days where we just don't believe that we just don't believe we can do it. Then that's really what matters. I hope I keep saying I hope I'm answering your question because sometimes I know I might go off.
You not only did you answer, not only did you knock it out the park, you actually gave us more than I even was thinking about. Because especially, so I want people to hear, like, if anything else that Auntie Loren has said during that part, I want you to understand one thing about believing in yourself. It's more people, like she said, out there that believe in you than people that are hating on you. The only thing is you're not believing in yourself enough so that those people can get to know who you are. Those people can get to see who you are. Like Auntie Loren said, she got like over 100-some thousand on Instagram, over 400-some thousand on TikTok. Let's be honest.
Let's be real, because to be real with you, when it comes to Ring and Waffle Factory, I had people who, I have people who know me from my Facebook, who know me from Insta, who know me. I have more people who have showed up from social media than people who I know like personally. You get what I'm saying?
Man.
The people who know you personally, those are gonna be. If it wasn't for those people, I wouldn't be where I am right now. The people, my social media family, because that's what I call them, my family, is who made me who I am today. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So no matter if I want this, I think this person should be here. Forget them. They not here. It's the people that are there. You know what I'm saying? We had an event last week, and this girl, I never met her a day in my life. We talk on Facebook, and you know what I'm saying, like that. She came here just so she could support my business.
Man.
So having people who don't know you but believe in you, that means a lot, because you have people who I ain't gonna put nobody out there, but you have people who you wish would support you as much as people who don't know you support you.
Man, Auntie Loren just said it. She dropped it. She said it. Like, if nothing else makes you believe in yourself, just knowing that we are out here. Matter of fact, many people don't even know me. Ain't never really even met me, but I support you just as much as you support me, and you don't even know it. But the only difference is, like Auntie Loren said, we just waiting on you to get it out there. The world needs your gift more than you think they do. Like,
a gift. Everybody has a gift.
Everybody has one. But we wouldn't even know your food. We wouldn't even, if you just kept it to yourself, kept it in the circle of people that full of haters and put people that might support you. When the people on the outside need your gift more than you think we do. And we need it now. It ain't just during COVID. We still need it now. And that's what you're doing with Wings and Waffles. Man, I love it. Now, don't get me wrong. Because before I let you go, I want you to know off rip, you are coming back on here, because we invested. We're gonna be following your movement.
What do you mean? Let me put it on my phone.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We're gonna put it out. Hey, right, write the date, save it, take a picture of it, put it on the calendar. I don't care.
I would love to come back.
We want to know, and we're gonna be watching, but we want to know when you come back how things are going and where is it building, because it might be a food truck now, who knows, might be multiple food trucks, might be a building, who knows what it's gonna be, but we're gonna definitely bring you back before then. But in the meantime, so that we can watch your growth, continue growth, celebrate with you as you hit these milestones and markers, or if we just want to reach out and just connect with you, how would somebody be able to get in touch with you or be able to just follow you? What are the platforms and ways to contact Auntie Loren?
Okay, so on Instagram, my personal page is Auntie. Hold on, let me be sure. Okay, on Instagram, my personal page is Auntie AUNTIE.LOREN. That's Instagram for my personal page. And then my business name is actually in my bio on my personal page, but in case you don't see it, sometimes people don't like to read. It's at Wing and Waffle Factory. That's my business page on Instagram. On TikTok, my name is Auntie Loren. It's just straight AUNTIE. I'm not Instagram. I'm sorry, TikTok. AUNTIELOREN. That's all it is on TikTok. On Facebook, Wing and Waffle Factory. I don't give out my personal page. Sometimes I just be speaking my mind on there.
We get that. We get that. No. So even if everybody that's worried about it, I'm gonna make sure all of this is down in the description on YouTube. If you're not already following, make sure you follow the YouTube page, like and subscribe. YouTube is Strategic Dope, STRATEGIC DOPE. Make sure you are subscribed, like, follow, share everything. But again, Auntie Loren, you tonight have dropped some knowledge on us. We thank you not just for the knowledge. Thank you for allowing us into your personal life. We thank you for your family taking the time to share you with us, because, man.
Because they back there. They hollering. I hear them. They looking.
Oh, no. We not finna hold you up. I just want to tell there on behalf of everybody, we thank you for even taking the time to come out and share your story with us. We really do appreciate you more than you know.
Well, I have a whole lot more story to share. I just wanted to keep it short, and I'm trying to figure out how to, because like I said, I want to be a motivational speaker, because I have a story. I just kept it kind of PG for now, but I have a story. I have a lot of things that have went on in my life that I think a lot of people will relate to. You know what I'm saying? From parent issues to all type of things that happened when I was a child, and I want to share my story. So anytime you want me, just let me know. I'll be on the show.
Oh, trust me. Matter of fact, you stay right with me. Don't go nowhere, because I want to talk to you right after the show. Don't go nowhere. But again, on behalf of everybody, I want to say thank you, and I will talk to you in just a minute, but don't go nowhere. And I want to say, Auntie Loren, appreciate you, and I'll see you on the other side.
No problem. Good night, everybody.
Man, I hope y'all had a good time tonight. I know I did. She had me laughing. I was tickled. I'm talking about the information she had giving, like, man, it's so much knowledge. It's amazing what just doing what you're supposed to do, following your plan, going along with what your purpose is, using your gifts. It's amazing how far to take you in life. But the key goal to that is you got to remember it's steps, it's levels. You got to crawl before you walk. You got to walk before you run. Like, you just can't jump out there and do it all. And if Auntie Loren hasn't taught us and showed us anything, as she's taking us through her life's journey, as she's taking us when she went off plan and came back, like, you have to stick to your plan. And most of all, you have to believe in yourself, because that's the only way things are going to happen, is if you believe in yourself. And especially one thing, the last thing she wrapped it up, make sure you remember there are more people out there supporting you than you know, and you got less haters than you think you do. So don't worry about them people that's not supporting you, that's not being on your side, because there's more people, but we won't know who you are until you get out there and take that first step and believe in yourself. And the only way you can do that is to continue to live in your purpose, with purpose, on purpose. Again, I thank everybody for tuning in. I can't wait to talk to y'all next week and show you who this amazing guest is. But again, y'all have an amazing, blessed week. I look forward to seeing you same time next week, Thursday, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. But until then, I love y'all. See y'all soon. Have a good night.
I'm back.
Every time I walk out that door, every time I interact with anybody new, my purpose is to help change.
It's time to celebrate life. If you know that you're in charge of your life, it's time to stand up. If you know you want better for your life, it's time to stand up. If you know that you have what it takes to be in charge of your life, it's time to stand up. If you know that you are not just trying to be good for you, but for those around you, it's time to stand up. As a matter of fact, look to the person to your left and tell them you are enough.
I want to help you change, and just like you change, every time I interact with somebody, they help me change. It's no different than if I met an individual and they had 4 quarters and they needed change, or if I had $1 and they had 4 quarters, I need to change. We can swap the money. The value is still the same. They still got $1, I still got $1, but we both exchanged something, and it was a change for both of us. So every time I walk out that door, I inspire to help change lives just as much as lives have changed me.
Y'all been listening to the wrong people, watching the wrong things all your life, and it's time to put to rest all those negative thoughts, because you are enough. It's time to put to rest that self-doubt, because you are enough. It is time to get rid of that negative energy, because you are enough. It is time to stop listening to people that don't have the best interests of you in your life, because you are enough. So let's have a moment of silence. I want everybody to understand that you are the person that's in charge of your life. Everything that you have inside of you to be who you're supposed to be in life. You have a destiny, and that destiny can only be accomplished through you, by you, and only you, with the help of God. When you realize that you are the person you are, because you're not a carbon copy, there's only one you. They try to put you in a box. Society tries to put you in a box, but you can't be in a box. How can you be in a box when there's only one you? But then they tell you, think outside the box. What I'm trying to get you to understand is there is no box.
I want to pass on the things that I have to the generations behind me. By the time it's time for me to get called home and go to the grave, I want to be empty. I believe in bankrupting the cemetery, so I can't take this knowledge with me, because the cemetery is already full of brilliant ideas and unwritten books and innovative ideas. I can't take this with me, so I'm trying to leave it all here as Billy Graham Jr. to the next generation so somebody else can carry it on.